Donald Trump is the president. He's been doing a hell of a job over the past year on a number of fronts, of course, including immigration, the economy, spreading peace in a number of countries that had seen war for decades. But you have this blue city, red city, blue state, red state sort of diametric going on. Are we going to have to see these cities like New York, like Los Angeles, like Chicago, absolutely fail before the folks there recognize that they've been going down the wrong road?
I wonder, David, because so many people who would vote either independent or Republican have moved out of those cities, right? You look at 3 states in this country, California, Illinois, New York. You have people moving out en masse to places like Florida, Tennessee, and Texas because obviously much lower taxes, much better run in terms of crime, in terms of all the social services and budgets actually being met. So I wonder if there's enough people left in those cities to vote the bums out, as they say. In Chicago, you got Brandon Johnson, who's at 6% approval. Zohran Mamdani in 7 weeks is already proving that he's not ready for prime time or any time for that matter. Karen Bass, obviously, Los Angeles, same thing. So you have to wonder, these people end up getting replaced, but it just seems to be by other Democrats. Now, the good news is in California, Steve Hilton right now, if you look at polls, our former colleague, he is leading right now a Republican in a blue state. So there is hope. But again, I don't hold up hope for the cities turning over as much as states.
Well, Deroy, there was a time when New York was solidly Democrat, but they voted for Giuliani in '93 because crime had gotten so bad and Times Square was a mess and jobs were leaving the city. We are learning now more about the hypocrisy of the left. Gavin Newsom's record is there for everybody to see, whether you're talking about fires, spending billions and billions on homelessness just to see it grow more, crime, et cetera. And the hypocrisy that he has was laid open bare on race relations and by something he said in front of a black audience. I want to play that and get your reaction. Roll tape.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you, I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
The racisms of low expectations. There it was on display. By the way, Nicki Minaj wrote a tweet about that, or an expo. She said, you want to know the craziest part of that footage that we just saw? That will haunt him forever. He's literally slowing his speech down and talking in a sporadic cadence. He's not just telling them that they're all probably stupid and probably can't read. He is literally slowing down his speech to make them understand the words that are coming out of his mouth as if they're children. Yeah. She's got a great point.
Well, there's a lot of infantilization on the part of Democrats towards black people. They think, well, we're not that smart, we're not that witty, we're not that organized, and so let's speak to them slowly. Let's use Southern accents when we talk to them, because all black people from the South. You've seen Hillary Clinton do that.
Oh, yeah.
And then this whole debate we're having about the Save America Act and voter ID cards, and it's all the Democrats' argument against it is that, well, black people, they're just not smart enough to get voter ID. They can't get it together. And yet, when you go to the airport, nobody says, oh, you're black, just get on the plane, it's cool.
Won't that come back to haunt him, though, and prevent him from ever succeeding in a poll again?
I hope so. I hope it will. And I think people, people who oppose him ought to bring that up over and over again.
All right. Joe, very quickly, I want to bring up the mayor of New York, the Marxist mayor here, Mamdani. He's been ridiculed, by the way, for being against voter ID, but demanding all these IDs for shoveling the snow. Now, I think our side is making a mistake by just ridiculing for that. I think he has an idea in mind, and I would suspect that in the next election in New York City, people are going to hold out these shoveling ID cards and say, look, I got this because I had to prove that I was a citizen, not having proved that at all, just showing it to somebody or picking up their card. Do you think in the next election in New York, we're going to see all these shoveling ID cards for voters?
Wow, that's genius, David. Well done by you. Yeah,
I think it's going on in his mind.
Absolutely, or at least he watches the show, I'm sure, and just got the idea. Look, we've gone from Jim Crow 2.0 to Jim Snow 3.0. I mean, literally, that's what's going on in New York, where, again, you don't need an ID to vote. which is the most sacred thing you can do as an American citizen, but you do need 2 forms of ID and a Social Security card to shovel. You can't make this stuff up, David. It practically writes itself.
No, you can't. But I remember they said never let a crisis go to waste. I think it was Rahm Emanuel who said that.
Emanuel.
I think Mamdani was listening. That's what I think is going on. Call me a conspiracy theorist. All right, gentlemen, great to thank you very much, both of you, for making it here despite the snow.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.